Let's move on swiftly to Volkswagen. We're moving on. Volkswagen is a German car manufacturer headquartered in Wolfsburg, Germany.
Established in 1937, it's the world's second largest automobile maker, so they put out about 10 million vehicles a year, the Polos and so on and so forth. Oh my God, it is crunched down by nearly a third in recent weeks, thanks to the crisis with regard to the diesel engines and the lying about the auto emissions.
So market cap now, as Paul points out, crunched down by a third, is sitting at 56.4 billion euros, trading on a PE of 6, a dividend yield here of 3.6. Let me try that again. Gary, this public relations nightmare for Volkswagen, are they going to be able to recover the lost ground?
I think that's the question, the $18 million question. It's I think they will. I mean, if you look at scandals historically, I mean, we're going to talk about Ford. I mean, they also had a defeat device in one of their cars in the 90s. I mean, we've seen obviously GM with ignition switches that actually killed people. It wasn't just an emission scandal. We've also seen Toyota with mats that make your car accelerate uncontrollably.
The airbag disaster.
Exactly. So I mean, a lot of motor manufacturers have gone through this before. Their share prices do generally recover. I think the question that you should ask yourself is, will this stop you buying a VW in future if you were a VW fan?
Will it stop you?
I don't think so. I had a Polo many years ago, very happy with it, and I would buy VW again.
Would you buy VW on the back of what has happened?
Well, the family owns a Polo, but that's a petrol one. I don't think I would buy a TDI diesel vehicle now, second-hand or new. No.
So it has impacted you beyond repair?
I think it's a massive reputational dent, and there's going to be the cost of having to retrofit all of those 11 million vehicles. Plus, there's potential shareholder class action suits where investors will sue the company saying, I was a shareholder before, the current shareholders can pay me something for having misled me about that situation.
Let's have a look at the share price graph. There we go, Volkswagen AG, and look at that downside.
But it is sort of bouncing a little bit. So this is where it's listed principally in Frankfurt. So you can buy them in euros there. I don't know, it's comparable in a way to BP when the disaster happened in the Gulf of Mexico. And then there's also the prospect of fines and other countries wanting to sue the company as well. So,
is this the buying opportunity that potentially you've been waiting for if you've been looking for an entry into VW?
If you look at VW stock now, it's a little bit of a different question, because the question now we're asking is all the bad news priced in? Because I mean, like Paul says, I mean, there's going to be fines.
Class action
also, if you look at Wolfsburg, like I was reading about just the climate there. I mean, VW employees are not prepared to take bonus cuts, and that it's going to be a huge problem for them, because they say we're not taking bonus cuts because management, was basically corrupt. So I think it's going to be a difficult road to recovery.
You're saying more bad news is to come, and that's not necessarily in the share price.
Again, there's also the possibility that there's more bad news. Paul's obviously talked about the retrofitting new things to actually address the issue. I think it's going to take. I mean, if you look historically, a lot of companies have gone through similar sort of things. It takes 2, 3, 4 years to recover from these things. So it's a long haul back up, and there is going to be obviously financial impact on the company as well. So it's not an obvious buying opportunity. Let's come off, we must dive in.
Hot or not, Paul?
I'm going to say not hot. I think we should avoid it. I just think it's far too early to quantify the potential financial loss. That's what the market's trying to do. That's what management's trying to do. But I wouldn't be at all surprised to see far further and more negative news flow here. And weak sales. They've already indicated they're going to cut capital expenditure. So there's going to be R&D challenges and weak sales. I just think particularly in Europe, they're going to be weak sales for these vehicles.
Not
hot. We weren't a buyer of VW before the scandal. We're definitely not a buyer after the scandal. And looking at it, I don't know. I can't see that you can be hot on it. There's just too much uncertainty in the stock price.